right, welcome to the Songcast.com presentation. I'm Breaky CPK, going to be your shoutcasting host, and joining me is Sooner of the Honcast staff, and this is the GosuGamers main event. This is, I believe, the losers bracket second round. We have a RAK taking on TSoG. Now, TSoG, obviously a recognizable team. A lot of people might know who they are, obviously from Sweden, and a solid team, a top 10 team, arguably, top 5 team in the European section at that. So all around a very sound team. We got RAK taking them on here. Now, RAK is a team from the Southeast Asia section, SEA, and so obviously a lot of teams over there we just do not know too much about. We haven't had the opportunity to really cast them at all, but they, they have some potential, and we'll see what they can bring to the table here. Definitely, we've been surprised by a lot, especially a lot of these SEA teams, so I'm looking forward to seeing that once again here from RAK. But first things first, like I said, I'm joined by Sooner, the Honcast staff. How you doing, Sooner?
Outstanding. It's a great day out. It's raining, it's cold, and just ready to watch some heroes in Neworth. I mean, great battles, like you said. TSoG, very well-known team, and Team RAK, someone we haven't seen often, if not ever. But it's great to see teams from all over. I mean, I know that there's teams from Poland and all other places that we haven't even really seen on the competitive side of things yet.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what both of these teams can do. 1 second real quickly. Okay, I wanted to move us in vent just to make sure real quickly. All right, so we're good to go now. Okay, so yeah, it should be an awesome matchup. With that said, we already have the pick starting off, so let's talk about the bans first things first. In the banning pool, we got Soul Stealer, Wretched Hag, Dr. Repulsor, Devourer, Gladiator, and Thunderbringer. So those are your 6 bans right there. Nothing too unordinary, other than really the Gladiator ban. However, obviously Fnatic MSI, they've been the ones using him recently quite a bit, and perhaps we're going to start seeing more and more teams start using him as a result. But he is banned here. I don't necessarily see who banned him, but interesting ban nonetheless. But what do you think about these bans here, Sooner?
The bans are, you said, nothing out of the too ordinary, but they almost look like pub bans. People ban the Soul Stealer, they might ban Devourer or Wretched Hag. So not saying that these are bad bans in the sense of pub, but just that these are bans that you would find in a regular old game. So hopefully we'll see some different heroes. Hopefully not a tri-lane, because not a big fan of watching it anymore, but we'll see what they do.
Yeah, it's, trial lane, it has been the popular metagame strategy, obviously, but there has been a lot more with that said lately. There was that phase, obviously, for a 2-month phase or something like that, where it just was trial lane. Every single game we saw trial lane, no matter what, from both teams. Finally, now we're seeing more of a 2-2-1 style strategy evolved in the games. But we've even seen a jungling hero with leaving a lane alone. So we have seen some different strategies, and that's what you can always hope for as a spectator, and being a fan of the game. But with that said, there's a lot of money on the line, as there always is for an event like this. Again, this being the losers bracket on top of that, both of these teams, they're at the point where they're playing now to keep on going rather than playing for more money. Obviously, you keep winning, then you will get more money. But they lose here, they're out of the tournament, and they're going home with the money that they have already won. I believe both these teams have at least secured $300, but obviously for such a big event with so much more money on the line, that both of them are going to be working their asses off to try to make something happen. With that said, I actually was curious myself. It is a US West server. That's very interesting. I actually forgot to look at that initially, but so again, a Sweden team taking on a Southeast Asian team, and thus we're playing in US West. So obviously both teams, I'm sure, having some at least 200 plus ping. I would think it is slightly probably in favor of RAK, but both teams having not ping that is really, that they want to deal with. But international tournament, welcome to it. With that said, though, we do have some picks finishing up here, so I want to get into that stages. For the Legion team, that'd be an interesting final pick right there if they go with that. But so far, they do. Okay, so we got Witch Slayer, Voodoo Jester, Bubbles, Sandwraith, and Defiler. An interesting 5-man lineup over here. We're going to see Defiler, perhaps a solo mid Defiler. Not a hero we're going to see all too often. Excellent push hero, though. Great for team fights as well, of course, with their ultimate and even their silence ability. And then we're going to see the always powerful Sandwraith carry. He needs to get that farm, though.
That he does. He's not very strong early game. He's not very weak, though. I mean, he has a good amount of damage hit, and it requires a lot of play. If you viewers and maybe Breaky ever watched the Enigma guide, I don't know if it's still true, but about the action canceling with him attacking quite fast. But I've always liked him. Sandwraith, definitely a great carry, like I said. But Team RAK right now has Bubbles. That's the best hero in the game. So how could they lose?
Yeah, we have seen some impressive things out of him, and I mean, he's involved in a lot of games though lately, so he definitely has been seen, especially obviously because of the trialing strategy. He is, of course, one of those long lane solo heroes, if not even solo mid, and he definitely has been seen a lot more playtime as a result. So always a fun hero to watch, though. Of course, this turtle shell ability, also the take cover, definitely causes for some great escaping timing, so we'll see if that is the case here. But yeah, all around a sound team, but again, it's going to come down to whether or not Sandwraith can pick up that farm, and that's always the case whenever you have a hero like that Sandwraith. Curious to see, I mean, I'm sure we will see, in fact, a try lane with them with that set at bottom. Obviously, Voodoo Jester, Witchslayer, Sandwraith, that'll leave Defiler middle, and then, of course, Bubbles at the top lane. So, with that said, TSoG now, they got their 5 just finished, and we are looking at Flint Beastwood, Glacius, Pebbles, Pharaoh, and Valkyrie. What do you think about the Hellborn side over there, Sooner?
I don't even know. I'm speechless right now. The only thing that kind of sticks out to me right now, Hellborn team looks a little more like they have a lot like life, I guess you could say. Like they're not as squishy. Because with a Pebbles pickup and with a Pharaoh pickup, even Valksult and everything, it seems like they'll be able to pick off a Witchslayer, a Voodoo Jester, or Bubbles very quickly in this fight. And then, you know, they'll be dealing with Sandwraith and Defiler, which, you know, still is fun to do, but it's gonna be a nasty match. I mean, I like their mid. Flint Beastwood, great mid, or maybe even if they put Pebbles mid. But a great all-around team. They got the gank, they got the carry, they got an aura from Glacius, so gotta like the Hellborn team as well.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Right down the middle.
Yeah, no, the both teams, they got gank potential. Hellborn team, I do love. I really like their gank potential. Again, guys, I want to reiterate, this is my first time casting on my laptop with my new setup, so I'm still trying to get used to it, and obviously, as you can see, the UI is a little bit different. In fact, let me see if I can get that edited real quickly. We do have a pause perhaps coming up here, so let me actually go into my options real quickly. 1 second. No, it wouldn't be that. You know what? I would have to get my mod set up again, so I don't have the mods other than the Honcast UI. So for right now, we'll just use the default. So it's not a big deal. Let's do a sync up though. Make sure that we have that taken care of. I am currently going by the replay timer. I'm at 9:20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27.
Keep going.
28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
All right, we're good.
All right. And I might need to trim down my in-game sounds a little bit, actually. Let me just do that real quickly. Trim down a little bit. We'll see how that goes. All right. So, yeah, making some adjustments on the fly here. But, yeah, so we'll see how this cast goes overall. But, again, yeah, so the Hellborn side, they got a lot of gank. Starting with Pebbles, of course. Pharaoh obviously follows it up nicely as well with his ultimate. They got the Valkyrie then, a great skill shot ability. Curious to see now how they lane it with that set. I mean, they have some different potential. And, yeah, I was going to say, I don't think we're going to see the trial lane. Instead, we'll possibly see 2-2-1, but look at this. Actually going a little bit of curveball here. We got Valkyrie Pebbles in the top lane. That is not a combination we're used to seeing. And it looks like they're going to send Pharaoh Glacius. No, Glacius is going to head back middle, actually, looks like. So we are going to see the 2-2-1. And they are going to be going against the solo. So that's how TSoG decided to match up against this tri lane of RAK. Again, I was talking about that earlier. This 2-2-1 strategy. You go 2 versus 1 against both solos, lock them out. You give up the farm, of course, of the trial lane, but you lock out the solos and kind of take advantage in that sense. So we'll see if RAK now makes an exchange here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're going to have to. They're going to shut down this Defiler, and she's still going to have her levels, and she'll be very strong. But if she's squishy with levels, she'll just get dropped by this Hellborn team, as well as this Bubbles. I mean, right now, Valkyrie holding Bubbles off, while this Bubbles is going to get his Porky very quick. So they need to make some rotations. Looks like they are right now. Voodoo Jester stacking creeps. He might be also making his way to the mid or top lane.
Yeah, of course, expect Pebbles to get the farm up here, and that is the case. As you said, going to try to get in that portal key as soon as possible. It's not too often you see Valkyrie playing a harassment, pure like support harassment babysit role, but that is pretty much the case here, as Valkyrie is doing so. So a little bit interesting. So yeah, and RAK has not yet made an adjustment. So again, it kind of you would expect, if anyone at this point, RAK would be the one making the adjustment. That's usually what we do see. If anything, at least send someone to the middle lane, because right now it's the strategy of TSoG. What it's meant to do is lock out the solo heroes, and they're accomplishing that quite effectively already early on in this game. Feral gets the pressure at the bottom lane. He's going to start running away, however, and he'll be fine. Just took us a little bit of initiation there, but obviously that's why he can withstand here in these long lanes like this against an uneven matchup, because of that mummy wall causes a lot of barrier in between him and the opponents and causes some confusion. However, no, there still is 3 down here. I thought we were seeing an adjustment finally, but RAK still insisting on having the trial lane. So I know it's still very early on in the game, but the longer you wait, you know, it's your carry or your solo heroes are definitely gonna fall further and further behind. With that said, however, decisive is managing to get somewhat of a farm, at least, both in experience and gold, so it's not too bad for her, but Bubbles is really the one that is completely being locked out. But even so, decisive is struggling a bit.
That she is. I mean, she's got a decent long-range attack, and then she's obviously got the Wave of Death to get some creep score. Honestly, if I was Team RAK right now, I would stay with the Sand Wraith to get her maybe some boots or something like that, and then go ahead and rotate. Because if she gets a good farm, she can go up against a Pharaoh easily one-on-one.
Yeah, definitely.
But like you said,
go ahead.
This is Bubbles. It's just he is getting shut out completely. 2-0 creep score right now. I don't want to say lowest in the game because there's 0-2, but for a Bubbles not to have any farm, it's going to be terrible. He's also under level 2. I mean, he's level 2 right now, and this Pebbles level 4. You know, gotta give it to the Hellborn now. They're doing a great job. You know, they pick great lanes, and if RAK isn't going to rotate, I don't even know what they're doing. They obviously have a game plan, because they're not going to just come in here and say, we're going to lose, but we have to wait to see it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the best thing that they can be betting for is we do have a little bit of action in the middle lane possible. Bloodlust kill coming up. No flare, though, from Flint Beast, who's out of mana, actually, so could not follow up the slow from Glacius. Valkyrie, in the meantime, actually done a really good job of canceling her arrow constantly, really keeping Bubbles guessing, maybe trying to catch him to use a take cover, and then eventually follow it up, but going back to that, again, RAK, you know, at this point, they're pretty much committing themselves to the strategy of, we're just going to out-farm you. And in that case, it's going to be in the hands of Sand Wraith, obviously. We're just going to have Sand Wraith completely out-farm you, eventually take over the game. You know, that is a valid strategy. I mean, obviously, when it comes to hard carries in this game and being able to take over, I think it's hard to argue that Sand Wraith definitely has the potential over this Hellborn team, albeit they do have, some good late-game heroes themselves. Flint Beast with Valkyrie, Pebbles even to an extent. However, a Sand Wraith, I mean, he gets very, very powerful, and with his ultimate, it just causes so much chaos. And if he really gets that true farm that he can get, then he can really take over the game. So ultimately, I really think that's what RAK's strategy is going for here. On top of that, they're hoping at least a father gets somewhat of an okay farm. And again, she isn't getting a horrible farm. She has 173 gold per minute for being 1 versus 2 for this whole game against 2 range heroes. That really isn't too horrible. We do have action in the bottom lane in the meantime. Sand Wraith initiating on with the assistance of the support. The Mommy Wall comes out, but it's not going to be enough. And there we go. Bloodlust kill by Witch Slayer onto Heide right there, playing the Pharaoh. So finally, 5 minutes into the game, we have a Bloodlust kill. But, yeah, so I don't know if that's the most effective strategy from RAK, but like I said, pretty much at this point, that is what they are committed to.
Yeah, if you take a look at the creep score right now, as a whole, it's a team. 35-20 for the Legion team. The Hellborn team's sitting at 61-29, so they're almost doubling their creep score. Looking at Pebbles right now, 1,900 gold, 5.5 minutes in this game. He's going to have his 4 key in record time. And if you're the Legion team, you have 3 heroes. You have Voodoo Jester, Bubbles, and Witch Slayer, who can instantly get killed by a Pebbles with, the Blink Stun combo. And that's good night for, I just think he's going to be out of control. Sand Wraith, obviously not that early game, and we've seen Pebbles just dominate early game to mid game, to where a team can't even leave their base. So I think that's going to be the biggest threat right now. This Pebbles, 38 creep kills in almost 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's very, very dangerous. So clearly, yeah, TSoG, they have every potential in this game right now to take over the early game and just push on after that and really finish the game in that sense. So actually, I keep on forgetting to hold down the mic sometimes so you can't hear it, but everyone else can. But I'll keep trying to remember to do that. But anyway, so. But yeah, so that Pebbles farm, like you said, he's going to have that. In fact, he just picked up the portal queue right there. So he's he's now very dangerous. Only 6.5 minutes into the game. I mean, he can literally combo anyone in this game right now, even the Sandwraith at this point, and nearly take them out. He is still level 6, so he's only level 3 of each ability, obviously, but he's going to start gaining those levels fairly quickly, I'm sure. And you see him hiding into the forest right here. They want to set something on Bubbles. Bubbles playing very passive, as he really should at this point, but just a matter of time. There we go with the initiation. Oh, the arrow misses, however, and he did get the take cover off, actually. I don't even know if the stalagmites did too much damage there. Definitely didn't do the maximum damage, so Bubbles actually defended that quite nicely. Now in the middle lane, Witchslayer with an Invision going to come from behind after that wave of death. Friezo onto Defiler. There's the Hex, however, on a Glacius. Witchslayer at least trying to get the Glacius go. Nice barrel nuke, by the way. Great job by Hyde, anticipating that it would be needed. Sandwraith, however, using the ultimate. He's going to pour it in. Yes, he is, to help finish off Glacius right there. And Witchslayer, he ended up getting away himself, as you can see over here with the Striders. Good job, though, by Pharaoh, nuking with his Tormented Soul. Bubbles, there's a lot of pings on him. Oh, he take covers the arrow, though. Smart reaction on his part, and he is going to be fine, as he is constantly pinging himself. I'm not sure why, but apparently he's informing them that he's pissed off or something. But a little nice exchange in the middle.
Yeah, it definitely was. Witchslayer definitely did a good job rotating around. Sandwraith watching the fight. To ult in and get the Glacius, and another great nuke, like you said, from Hyde. A lot of action, though. I mean, not a ton of action. 8 minutes in, 3 kills, but at least we're seeing some kills. I mean, people are starting to rotate around. We have Sandwraith, who is above level 6, so he has his ulti, so anybody getting low, gotta be in trouble. And Pebbles, once he gets enough mana, I'm sure we'll see him roaming around non-stop. Because obviously right now, with 338 max mana, he can barely port combo.
Yeah. Well, you got the Blood Chalice there at least. So, yeah, he literally went straight for the Portal Key because of the farm he was getting. But now that he has a Blood Chalice, and he's going to use the combo right there. There we go. That time he landed it perfectly. And Austin playing that Bubbles, there he had no chance. He's got to be frustrated. I mean, I'm sure that's kind of had the idea behind that spam pinging that he was doing earlier. He's just saying, God, this is just a horrible situation. In the middle lane, we do have a wave of death. Not long enough, unfortunately. However, it might not matter. Can Witchslayer get the last hit? Yes, he can. Good use of the bottle right there from Flint Beeson. And now we have to fire on a Glacius. Will pick up the kill. I believe she still got hit by Pharaoh, but Pharaoh with the ultimate in to make sure Defiler goes down right there. So constant action here, especially in this middle lane. Now we have Pharaoh. He's going to fall back, and Legion team not going to be able to swarm on top of him, in which they're actually going to now head to the bottom lane. So we are seeing a lot of action here in this middle lane, as we do have a vote to pause here. So we'll see what that's about. Hopefully nothing too long again. But, yeah, so catching up on farm now. I mean, we're getting later on in the early game stages, obviously, just past the 9-minute mark. We have the Sandwraith, 47 and 12 creep score. You can see his items, boots and a ring of the teacher. Nothing crazy impressive, but he does have 1,900 plus gold saved out. In fact, he was the one apparently reconnecting right there, so he's reconnecting now, so we won't bother fast forwarding. Bubbles, obviously, don't expect him to really have anything. He does have a blood chalice somehow, but other than that, nothing. Witchslayer and Voodoo Jester, again, kind of the same deal. They've been babysitting, supporting. Defiler, on the other hand, you know, she has been doing okay. Again, for the situation, she really has been getting by pretty effectively, using that wave of death to get those creep kills, as well as cause some decent harassment, and it has allowed her to get a bottle, a power supply, and at least her boots. So we'll see if she eventually, of course, starts going towards the tanky route. Perhaps a Shaman's headdress would be a valid option here. I can honestly see either way, though, so between Helm of the Black Legion or Shaman's headdress, so we'll see what she goes for. But, yeah, so, I mean, that's kind of a recap of the game right now. And, you know, looking at those numbers, gold is actually pretty much even. Experience is also, I believe, it's around 1,000 difference in favor of the Hellborn team. So right now it is a fairly even game. Neither team really has a true advantage at this point.
No, not at all. Once we get into later stages, I'm going to have to give the mid game to the Hellborn team, but late game, like we've talked about, is definitely going to go to this Legion team. Sandwraith's going to outcarry anybody. Papa Dre's actually picking up a kill mid versus Bubbles, so he's just having a horrible game right now. Shut down since second one, and now he's 0-2.
Yeah, that was the money shot working for him right there on the Bubbles. And like you said, Bubbles is just hating life right now. I'm sure he's just not a fan of this game. And he's probably saying, yeah, let's just get this over with. But, of course, again, as a team overall, TSoG and RAK, they're kind of even. TSoG perhaps taking a little bit slight advantage with that kill right there. But the Sandwraith, he is getting a very powerful farm. Surprisingly enough, not the highest creep farm in the game. That still does belong to Pebbles. Excuse me. We have Witchslayer running away here, however. No, Glacier's actually freezing himself. I'm not sure what that was about, actually. Maybe he's expecting a turnaround or something right there. But or maybe he just misclicked completely. But they're going to end up turning around in the end, in which there makes his getaway. He's actually now coming back. He's still not level 6 yet, though. So, unfortunately, I don't have my experience mod on either. So I'll do that after this game, guys. I do apologize. I actually didn't even think about that going into this cast. But I'll get all my mods over, and then I'll have those for the next game, hopefully. So anyways, but for now, we just have to use all the default. Good old default that S2 provided us with. As we have Pharaoh doing some harassment in the bottom, but going to fall back. Pebbles, though, he's coming to the bottom lane now. You know that a goal of TSoG at this point is to try to slow down the Sandwraith now that they have a little bit of their early game farm. And that's what Pebbles perhaps is. He's looking for somebody. Not going to find Sandwraith, but is on his way now to gank this Defiler. You got to think it's coming in 3, 2, 1. Where's the port in? Ooh, Defiler playing very defensively right here. Here comes a nuke, and there goes Pebbles using the fish and the flare as well from Flint Beastwood. And they set up the kill. Papa Drage indeed got the kill right there. So I believe he did, in fact. Anyways, that's a nice gank right there, and that's what they're good at. That's what the team makeup is all about, starting with the Pebbles.
Exactly. I mean, another great point is you had the Valkyrie who was shutting down the bubble, staying the same level as him, getting a better creep score than him. So now the bubbles can just roam around all game, ganking, while we're still in the laning phase. And the Valkyrie can solo against the bubbles because he has the same, if not better, farm than him.
Do have action here at the bottom lane. Pharaoh's going to end up getting taken out, so I know Sandwraith had some assistance there, but taking advantage of that deserted ability, which as you can see, he in fact did max out over getting anything into Dissipate. He actually using his ultimate right here. He's going to port somewhere. It's a question now. No, he stays at the bottom lane, just using it for harassment purposes, and obviously it's also a great vision tool, and it does, I believe, the illusions also get the effect of the deserter, so it's just an awesome all-around ability to have. And again, though, that Deserter right now doing a 45 bonus true damage to, as long as there's no allied unit within 300 yards. And obviously that's what Sandwraith is good at doing. So a very
top
useful ability right there. Top, we do have Witchslayer up here. This Valkyrie is playing very defensive, but nothing's going to happen of it. But Witchslayer is trying to, play some babysit right now on this bubble, trying to at least get him picked up, because, again, he really is a useless hero at this point, not even being level 6, 13 minutes into the game. So there we go. He just hit level 6. Expect him to get his ultimate right here. And, indeed, he does. So at least he's going to be able to start using that now.
Yeah, Witchslayer, really did a good job. He picked up the Bloodlust and picked up a smart item. He got Strider, so he was able to move around and set up that mid-gank like he did. And I would like to see him a little more active in the ganks, but he's just kind of running around and chilling. But when you have, in my opinion, when you have this Pebbles with a blink and you have a Pharaoh on your team, which obviously is almost a blink, you need to be shutting down the Sandwraith. They're not doing anything. Pebbles came down there for a little bit, didn't quite work out. I mean, Sandwraith's goal per minute's almost 300 right now. You need to slow him down, at least a kill or two, and let your Flint Beast will get some farm.
Yeah, on the other hand, again, like you just said, Flint Beastwood, he is getting his farm. 276 gold per minute right now. He's, in fact, pushing this middle tower right here. There is support nearby. In the meantime, there's action at the bottom lane, actually, as Sandwraith gets taken out. So finally they accomplish that. In the middle lane now, Witchslayer going to send him on Glacius. Needs to be careful, though, as Flint Beastwood putting in the pressure. But that was a bait right there, and Flint Beastwood bit right into it. And the auto attacks, as well as all the abilities coming out, including that silver bullet, pick up the kill on Flint. So like I said, that's exactly what Witchslayer wanted, pretty much, was for Flint Beastwood to push up a little bit there. And, well, that's what he got. So a nice little present for him. But, again, in the meantime, Pharaoh and Pebbles setting up a solid gank onto Sandwraith at the bottom. So getting that first kill on him, dropping his goal per minute, and now going to actually get a tower kill out of this as well. So this bot and gank, a very good accomplishment. And just all around in many ways for the Legion team right there. There's a big... Oh, that's Sandwraith, excuse me. He's actually going to port in on top of Glacius, freeze at the last second, but it's not going to matter. He's still going to chase him down. And another reason why Sandwraith can be very, very annoying to play against right there.
OP hero.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Now, in any case, 15 minutes into this game, 7-6 right now in favor of the Legion. Legion doing a good job, despite the weird strategy that we saw in the beginning, not choosing to switch up lanes. Little tower push here. Defiler did activate her ult, but we do see a port in from Flint Beastwood, who is kind of mid right now. He did die, so he's out for blood. We'll see if he can make a little comeback. Tower mid right now for the Legion team is kind of low, so I'm sure Flint Beastwood's going to try and finish that off. Looking at his build, he's I guess he's going the standard build. He's only getting 1 into the little stun and going more Deadeye. And everybody else's build's about standard right now.
Valkyrie trying to get away right there, but as we were talking about earlier, Bubbles taking advantage of that ultimate, setting up a kill, and again, Sandwraith gets taken out. I just got the last split second of that, but again, Pebbles and Pharaoh doing their thing, so doing as they should be doing, a very aggressive movement team here on TSoG, and they're accomplishing that great now here heading into the late early game, getting close to that mid-game stage, and now that's a second kill onto Sandray, so he still is getting a confident farm, but slowing them down, and yeah, I hate Bubbles and Pebbles, but Pebbles pours to the top lane and then sets up a kill onto Bubbles right there, so he is now moving all over the place. His gold farm has just jumped up immensely. He now has 3 hero kills, including those 2 assists, and now he's up at 356 gold per minute, so now level 11, perhaps that even being more important right there. He is very, very powerful right now, and that's not good news for this Legion team. Again, one of those heroes that if he gets the farm that he's getting like he is this early on in the game, it's you got to be very worrisome. Flint Beastwood coming in right. He was actually going to get stunned, and he's going to be taken out. He came in with an Invis Rune, but as you can see right here, a Ward of Revelation from the Legion side. I'm not sure if they placed that because they actually saw him coming in, maybe anticipating a Valkyrie ultimate, so that's why they had the Ward of Revelations in the first place, so I guess it could have been for counter-warding, but they must have seen him pick it up or something and saw him heading this way, so that was just a very heads-up play right there. I don't see any sense to put one right here for counter-warding. I mean, unless they, for some reason, expected that, but yeah, just heads-up play, and they sure enough get a nice little free kill onto Flint Beastwood right there.
That they did. People from Southeast Asia don't mess around. There's counter wards everywhere. But I'm sure Papa Drake's just kind of upset about that. I mean, nothing he can really do. He went in there, you know, it's not by any means his fault, but just a tough break on him. Witchslayer coming around trying to set up a gank on Glacius. He might be in trouble. He's choosing the tower dive, but he's just going to back off. And nothing really is going to come out of that right now. So 9-8, Legion team still staying ahead by 1 kill. And, wow, Hellborn actually taking a good lead for gold. 3,500 gold lead right now for this Hellborn team. In terms of items, we talked about, you know, full boots on Flint Beastwood, has a quick blade, might be going for Firebrand, I guess. That would probably be the best item I can see to maybe mess around with this Sandwraith. You know, he pops his ult, he pops his Firebrand. Which one are you going to attack? Be a good all time. They're doing a great job knocking down this Sandwraith. Pharaoh coming out is going to hit creeps though, but they're still going to take out Sandwraith. Yeah, I was just going to mention Sandwraith, 891 life. Pebbles is going to be able to combo that for days.
Yeah, that I was initially, I reacted there. I was like, oh, wow, that sucks for Pharaoh because he hit the creep wave. Obviously, they was hoping to hit Sandwraith, but it actually looked like it was lined up, but creep wave just happened to get in the way. But thankfully for him, Pebbles was there to clean up anyways. And like you said, Sandwraith right now, he's going for his Mock of Brilliance. I mean, that's clearly what he's doing. He has 2,800 gold saved up, and you know, it's a really risky item to go for first item for reasons we're seeing here, especially against a very gank-heavy team like this. Speaking of ganks, by the way, in the top lane, we have Witchslayer getting caught out right here. The flare comes out. The Voodoo Jester ultimate, though, doing some good damage on a Pharaoh right here, and Pharaoh's going to drop. Valkyrie also leaping in. Sandwraith using the ultimate. He's going to join the fun as Pebbles cleans up on Bubbles right there. The Pebbles combination. Glacius using his ultimate. Can he get the kill on Defiler first? Of course he cannot. Defiler with that ultimate activated, doing too much damage. Defiler, though, trying to at least get a kill on Pebbles. Not going to happen. Pebbles gets away. Good cleanup from Valkyrie and Flint Beastwood. Sandwraith decided to play it safe. He's going for that quick Sword of the High to pick up the Mock of Brilliance. So he chose to play it safe, just sit at this bottom lane and continue his farm despite using his ultimate. But again, it's a very, very risky item choice here, and I can't say I agree with it fully because of the team they're playing against. I mean, because of the Pebbles that they're going against, he had to figure that he's going to be on top, you know, setting up ganks, especially on him. And again, it's 3,400 gold. They did nerf it recently, so it is a little bit less, but still a lot of money. And with the money he has right now, he could have already hit a Helm of the Black Legion with ease and been in a lot better situation.
Definitely. Even with the Maka Brilliance, I don't think it's going to do that much. Like I said earlier, taking a look at the Hellborn team, you got Pebbles 1600 life, Flambeast with 1000, Valkyrie 1000, and looking at the other team, and they're just so squishy. Everybody's under 1000 on the Legion team. Nobody has over 1000 HP right now. So Pebbles is just, you know, rolling around, having a great all time. I said he was going to be strong mid game, but we'll see if the Legion team can pick it up late game.
Yeah. Voodoo Jester getting picked off right there. Pharaoh and Pebbles, they've been the murderous moppets this game is the phrase we like to use
there
here.
We go.
Oh, nice counter word. What was that?
When you say that. Oh, and every time you bring up the murderous moppets.
Oh.
Just makes me smile.
Yeah, it's a fun term to use. That's pretty much what they are, though.
That it is. Fun to watch, too. I mean, better than everybody sitting in a lane. I mean, I love watching Pebbles who gets porky early because it brings a lot of excitement to the game.
Oh, yeah, easily one of the more entertaining heroes in a game. As Sandwraith using his ultimate right here. He's going to spot a couple of people, whether or not he's going to port anywhere again. Might just be using it for vision purposes, and it looks like that was the case right there. And that's the thing with that ultimate as well. I mean, sometimes you can get lucky. Sometimes someone will just happen to be low from jungling or something. Bubbles at the top lane in the meantime. They're going with Glacius and Flint. Beeswood, he's going to get the kill on Glacius first. Now he's going to try to port out. Oh, but he's not going to be successful. Pebbles goes to where he would have been, and he got the kill. Oh, trying to chuck his teammate back. Are you kidding me? He actually denied him right there. Very good play by Pebbles. I don't know, kind of an on and off, I guess, but I'm pretty sure he would have been going down. The auto attack was going in the air, it looked like from Witchslayer, but the chuck from Pebbles denied Flint Peacewood instead. It's not too often you see a chuck deny a teammate. In fact, I don't even know if I've ever seen that. I don't even know if that was a thinking process right there. He's probably like, I'm trying to save you, but sure enough, it denied him. So give and take whether or not it was the smartest thing to do, but he attempted it, and at least he got to deny and sit away from the hero kill. And in the meantime, Defiler pushing the middle lane, so finally being able to take advantage of her ultimate and get the first tower kill for this Legion team. Now 22 minutes into the game, and now they're going to push the bottom tower.
Yeah, they need to get some towers. They're down 4,100 gold right now. Got to do something to catch up.
Well, there you go. That'll help it a little bit. As they also get the bottom tower. Pebbles, in the meantime, he's sitting at the bottom lane, hoping for Witchslayer to maybe fall back. But that's not going to happen, and Pebbles is going to ward up here. Yes, he is, so granting them some solid vision there. And also down here, obviously, you have both those spots, and you get a lot of vision on their side of the map. But right now, it's only the Legion ward that's over here. Like you said, RAK is doing a really good job of using a lot of wards. Finally going in, though, and Witchslayer did Pebbles. And sure enough, picked up an easy kill, as expected. Bubbles came there, a little bit late, though, obviously. Speaking of Bubbles again, I mean, he's now level 10. That's actually surprisingly higher than both Witchslayer and Voodoo Jester. I guess so they were part of the trial lane, so, but... And nerfed from that, but Bubbles, he was just having an awful early game.
Taken out in favor of the... Sorry, in favor of the Hellborn. Pebbles sitting on a good chunk of gold, so about 2,600. What do you think he should pick up in this situation? Oh, Pebbles in a lot of trouble right now.
Oh!
He's dropping so fast, but can he take Bubbles out? Yes, he can. Punch right to the face to give him champion newer status, but it does get taken away. For some reason, it didn't show me who got the gold on my screen. There we go. Wow, Sandwraith. So definitely a hero you want to get the gold on, and looks like he almost has enough for his Maka Brilliance if he hasn't bought it yet.
Oh man, that Bubbles right there. If he kept running, he would have been fine. But for some reason, he chose to turn around and help with the killing of Pebbles. I mean, he might not have been fine. I guess Pebbles might have got up to him, but I don't see any reason to turn around right there and go for the finishing blow. But he chose to do so. Going with what you're saying, though, I believe it was about Pebbles and using his gold. At this point, I think something like a Demonic Breastplate wouldn't be a horrible option, especially going up against this Sandwraith, who's, I mean, right now he is relying a good amount on magic damage, I guess. But as the game goes on, obviously the physical damage from the Defiler ultimate, and for your benefit as well in terms of minus armor, obviously Valkyrie and Flint Beastwood could definitely take great effect for that. So I think in this case, a Demonic Breastplate wouldn't be a bad option, or Frostfield Plate. I mean, either one, it definitely is preference in a lot of cases. Demonic, though, I would prefer if I was playing this Pebbles, but I'm not, of course. That's Mr. X playing Pebbles, and I think it's safe to say he's a slightly better player than me.
I don't know. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, I was thinking Frostfield Plate. I definitely could see your Demonic Breastplate, but, like, say a team fight's going down, Sandwraith busts his ult. All you do is run in the middle, hopefully, of everything, and bust the Frostfield Plate to slow everything down and, you know, hopefully you can run away from him. Really
Yeah.
no going heads up with a Sand Wraith.
Yeah, that is a good point, actually. I didn't even think about the illusions and everything. So, yeah, either way. I mean, either way, it's obviously I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I wouldn't have gone Frosty play. What is he thinking? He does pick up the plate mail, so we're still going to have to be in suspense, unfortunately, in terms of what item he actually is going for, because that obviously works for both. So we'll see. Overall, though, I want to look at actually more farm. So Flint Beastwood, he does have his geometry plane. Again, the illusion's being used by Sandwraith. He's going to porch to this middle, perhaps, and no, he's not. But they know where they are, using that Wave of Death, just missing, though. He did get the silence off on Pharaoh, however. And, I mean, that is the great thing about that ultimate as well, though. Even if you're not deciding to port with it, like I said, not only does it grant you vision, but it really makes the team play very scared. Like we saw right there, I mean, all three lanes, basically, wherever any hero was, they were like, oh, crap, they're looking to gank me. And they just start, like, falling back and playing all scared and, like, oh, my God, is that the real thing? So, it's just a great all-around ability for so many cases. Oh, he might be in some trouble, though. Double damage rune activated. Pebbles, are they going to get the jump right here? He's going to use the sand to get out of there. They did have a Ward of Revelation right there to spot them incoming. So, wow, he's going to make it out before he is getting chain slowed right here by these stupid minions. But he should be fine, though, unless they get a lucky guess. Yeah, he's going to be fine as the Hellborn team is porting out. So, Sandwraith, he is picking up his farm. Now, more curiosity, though. I mean, you're talking about Pebbles. What is he going to go? I'm curious what Sandwraith plans to go here. I mean, he has that Mock of Brilliance now. Does he, go for the tanky style at this point now after the Mock, or go for more pure damage? We do have initiation here at the top lane. Pharaoh catching Bubbles right here. Pebbles also going, and he actually chucks Witch Slayer into the Mummy Wall. Sets up another kill on him. Well played right there by Pebbles. And there are 2 hero kills for them, and now pushing this top lane. Is Sandwraith going to be involved? We'll see. He's not there yet, but of course he has his ultimate to use if they really need it. On cooldown, however, they're going to catch Defiler right here. She's going to go down to the money shot right there. Hyde actually getting credit for the kill, but all that burst damage just too intense. And Legion team, they're starting to lose towers now as well as some lanes, so it's getting dangerous here.
That they are. Going back to your Samurai pick, I would honestly I would pick the No Fire because I think it's a very underrated item. Everybody uses it for getting off buffs and killing Hellbringer's minion, but I think he'll be able to counter gank as much as the other team. Plus, if he's chasing somebody down, he can slow them down, take all their mana. I think it's a great item. Got a lot of agility on it and gives you all that extra damage. But we'll see what he chooses. Does have a quick plate, so it could possibly be that. As we do see Hellborn team pushing this tier 2 tower, it easily gets taken out with all the dead Legion players. Pharaoh actually buffing his ult out. Does catch Bubbles, but a stun coming out, and Pharaoh's in a lot of trouble. Ult coming out from Purdue's Esther just eating up Pharaoh, and he's easily going to get taken. Bad.
Pebbles now putting the chase back right here. And Bubbles actually going to port in. Excuse me, that was Bubbles, not Pebbles. I really hate that combination. Gets the kill on Valkyrie. Now he's looking to kill Pebbles right here. He throws out that chuck. Oh, he almost got the kill on Bubbles right there, by the way. But actually does not pick up the kill. Again, I apologize. I wasn't holding on my mic. But anyway, so good job right there. And that's a genocide for the Legion team. So good defense right there from RAK. Perhaps, just over-aggressive play on the part of TSoG, but nonetheless, solid defense. And now, Legion team, they're going to be able to push a tower down right here. They could have taken this opportunity to go over to Conqueror, but again, they were at the top lane already pushing it, so it's kind of a long distance, takes a little bit of time there, and they figure might as well push towers while we have the time instead. So that was a decision time right there, unless they chose to do that. Firebrand finished on Sandwraith, by the way, so not going to be going that null fire route, instead picking up that Firebrand. We'll see, maybe Geometer's Bane at this point. Why not get even more illusions out there? But we'll see what he decides to how he decides to run with that. But he is getting that powerful farm now. And the Hellborn team, I mean, nothing against TSoG, obviously. They've been doing a very good job of playing very aggressive, picking off that Sandwraith when they can at key moments. But more so just impressive play from RAK here, making a little bit of a comeback. On top of that Sandwraith farm, Defiler's also looking a lot better. She's getting very close to level 16, and she is getting more and more built up. Curious to see. I guess she's going for could be Nullstone, could be Sheepstick. If she's going for Sheepstick, she does need. What is she? She's the orange. I hate this default UI. She has 2,000 gold saved up, so it looks like she's possibly going for that Sheepstick. She needs 2,700, of course, for the Acolyte Staff. But that will be another very powerful item for them.
That it will. Sandwraith is at the point right now where there's no stopping this farm. Even if you roll up on him, he's not going to be able to combo him. I mean, you're going to need I don't know. I mean, Pharaoh and Pebbles obviously could, but it's not just Pebbles anymore running around. Oh, hey, Sandwraith, you're dead. So stopping them is going to be out of the question. I think maybe need to get a gank on a squishy, set up some good wards, get Kong, and make a push. Because from this point, wow, sorry, 1 sec. I turned the stream sound on so I can hear when you're not holding the mic, and then I was hearing myself losing my mind. Anyway, so yes, the Sandwraith unstoppable right now in terms of farm. They need to do a Kong, in my opinion, and get a good push, because the further this game goes, the more powerful the Sandwraith is going to get. And there's nothing to counter him right now. Flimbeastwood is never going to outcarry a Sandwraith.
Yeah, I definitely don't see that happening. So, yeah, I agree. I mean, TSoG, again, they've done a good job with the early game, but they need to keep that up now. They can't let it slow down. They can't let, like you said, ganking Sandwraith at this point. Pebbles cannot alone gank him like we have been seeing throughout this game. Sandwraith, he's stuck? That would be really unfortunate. He is stuck, it looks like. Wow. Oh, God. There we go, yeah. He finally ports out. That's never really seen that before, but he does finally get out of there. So a little bit funny situation there. That would have been great if the Hellborn team actually initiated on him. That would have been kind of one of those WTF. But anyway, so he's fine. He finishes his Frostburn, by the way, so perhaps now going to look to split it, of course, eventually. We'll see what route he goes. Pebbles, we were talking about him and what route he was going to be going. He is still sitting on that plate mail, so still unsure of which route he's going to officially decide. We got Pharaoh with the Helm of the Black Legion. We got Valkyrie with her Ice Brand. And, of course, Geometer's Bane on Flint Beastwood. So I think it's safe to say at this point, overall a little bit more spread out farm on this Hellborn team. But obviously, again, that Sandwraith, the Legion, the farm that he has is definitely very, very scary, no matter how much farm your team overall has. And then the Defiler, she's finished her Sheepstick, so that's another very beneficial ability. You know, she didn't go that really massive tanky build. She does have Plated Greaves and also that Mystic Vestment, so it's some there. Could be more, but choosing to go the Sheepstick instead, but it is a very powerful item, and Sheepstick, no doubt, will be useful. So right now, as far as RAK is concerned, they're fine with sitting back and farming. It's TSoG that I honestly believe they're the ones that need to play the initiators right now. Because, like you said, the longer they wait for this game to keep going on and on and on, it's only just going to get scarier and scarier for them in terms of that Sandwraith farm.
That it is, and the poor thing about the Hellborn initiating, if they run into a lot of them, or even, say, Defiler, and they try to gank somebody else, you have Defiler's ult, level 3 ult constantly ticking. So she's got to be a target that you want to take out, because her ult just doing damage if you're standing near. You want to take out the Sandwraith, but I don't think that they're gonna, so you're forced to kill a squishy, and then you still have two powerful heroes just beating on you the whole time. So I think the Hellborn team is in a lot of trouble. I'm not saying they're out of it, by no means, we say this all the time. Because the Legion team could still make mistakes, but if both teams went at it right now, I would have to definitely give it to the Legion team.
Yeah, I mean, to reinforce that as well, the TSoG, I mean, they still do have the golden experience lead. It is very slight at this point, but they still do have it. Sandwraith, by the way, he actually did port to the top lane. Valkyrie, though, she used her ultimate to help her get away, and that was a smart use because no doubt she was going to be dropping right there to this solo Sandwraith. In the middle, we have some initiation on this Defiler. Can they drop her? The Pharaoh and Pebbles combination. The Murderous Moppets once again. Defiler, I don't know about that ultimate choice. It is a fairly short cooldown. It's not the worst idea. In fact, it probably will be up by the time she resurrects, but she tried to do as much as possible right there, but that's just such a brutal combination because you try to run away, but you can't because you're obviously stuck in that mummy wall, and ended up going down, so good attempt, but that is what the Hellborn team, that's a start in the right direction to making sure they're on their way to a victory here, getting solid ganks on players that are by themselves, and, you know, it's also at the point, too, they perhaps took into mind that Sandwraith, he just used his ultimate. So if they did jump right there, he would not be able to port to them. And I think that's what TSoG is also going off of as well, because if they did jump to Father right there with the Sandwraith ultimate up, no doubt Sandwraith would have ported in and could have possibly turned that around. So smart play by TSoG in the sense of that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Defiler was standing there doing some work. She wasn't going down like a little B word. But... yeah, it was a great gank for them, but nothing came out of it because both players had to go back. At least Pebbles had to go back, and they got no Kong, they got no tower. Always great to get a gank, but at this point in the game, 35 minutes in, you get a gank, something else has to happen out of it. We're out of the ganking stage. We're in the, oh my god, we got to stop this Sandwraith and win this game stage, and I'm sure TSoG knows this, and they're planning something.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're not just sitting quiet in their van and being like, well, whatever. I mean, clearly they're trying to map something out here, but we haven't been seeing, we haven't been seeing, that aggressive play from them. I mean, that we saw so much of in terms of especially push. I mean, again, at this point, it's pushing is, you got to figure, is something that they really need to look to accomplish, but we have not seen them go in any of the lanes yet, let alone really, go for ganks. I mean, the only gank that they really had ever since we started talking about that was this one in the middle, and that was because she was on their side of the river. So they haven't even been really moving past the river with that set at this point. So they're playing very, very cautious, and you got to wonder if that's going to pay off, because Sandwraith, he finishes Geometer's Bane, and he's going to work on that Frostwolf Skull now with his 407 gold per minute at this point. He's going to have it in the next 5 minutes or so. Actually, using his ultimate right here, they may look to go on somebody. They're going to port over here into Glacius. Glacius easily picked off. We have Pebbles coming nearby. Valkyrie ultimate has been used, and Pharaoh's going to get caught in the background, however. He's probably going to drop right here. Yes, he will go down. Pebbles, in the meantime, picks off Voodoo Jester in the background, but now he needs to snipe out of there, or else he will get sniped down. But he looks like he is going to buy the distance, and by what he needs to get away down here. And those are some minions. I was going to say, is he really diving? But just sending his minions actually trying to pick up a kill on the switch there, not successful. An arrow following up as well to attempt to kill, but not going to go through. So that's the power of this Legion team right now. Sandwraith porting in and causing some damage. So now Legion team, with the farm that they've taken over, farm gold, it's practically identical at this point, and so is experience. They're going to look to make a middle push here. They still have the numbers advantage. Geometer's Bane used right there by Sandwraith. There goes the Defy their ultimate. This tower going to start dropping fast, and I don't know if they have invulnerability. There we go. In fact, it's used right there, but this tower easily still going to drop. Can Valkyrie deny it now is the question, or Flint Beast maybe. They're going to go for the deny. It's going to be killed by the Legion team, and the Legion team will fall back as they should. So that's Legion team in a good spot right now is RAK.
That they are. I mean, they definitely have the great carry potential. They're starting to get all the team gold back with the tower kills that they're doing. And just great team fight all around. I mean, they went on the Glacius, which I started to think that was going to be a bad idea. Like, why are you chasing this Glacius? But they stop him, and then they turn around and just, the rest of them fell. I mean, they only got Pharaoh, but easily won that team fight. And they're going to try to do combo here. The Hellborn team, this will be an excellent pickup for them. No really words to sight. I mean, there's that one right above Kong, but there's no way that it shows Kong. But Voodoo Jester actually going to throw another one, and knows that they're doing it right now, but Sandwraith's ult is down for 15 seconds. They are going to choose to back off with him being so low.
Somebody done. There's a couple of action sequences right here. I'm trying to keep up on either one of them. Arrow, 5-second arrow on Witch there, landing on him. Pebbles is behind, but here comes Sandwraith. Dangerous as always. He starts to fall back, though, taking a lot of pressure initially. He has his ultimates now, so we'll see if he uses that. We have Pebbles coming in from behind. Barbed armor from Pharaoh. 2 players dying. Defiler dropping right there. And Bubbles, it looks like he may very well get caught as well. He also goes down, so just sloppy coordination right there from RAK. They were really split up right there. They did not go in as a team. Sandwraith's going to use the ultimate and perhaps go for a ninja. Oh, he gets the kill on Valkyrie. That's a Sandwraith illusions for you. Even though it's just the illusions, just so much dissipate damage. And they do a good solid damage themselves. They actually set up the kill, and the Mocker Brilliance for that matter as well. So Valkyrie goes down, but the Conquer kill happens, and Token of Life, I'm guessing, on Flint. Yeah, he picked it up right there. By the way, Pebbles did go for Demonic Breastplate, so that's the route he chose. I apologize. I was talking to myself again, or everyone else but you.
I turned the stream on.
Yeah. Okay, so Pebbles, by the way, he did go for Demonic Breastplate, so I was right and you were wrong. Just thought I'd point that out. No, I'm just kidding. Nullstone being worked on, it looks like, by Flint Beast. Well, that's going to be an interesting pickup there. But, yeah, that was really sloppy fight from the Legion team. Really, really spread out. Did not go in there together.
No, not at all. It was like Voodoo Jester came in, and they didn't have Sandwraith's ult right away, about 15 seconds in the fight, but I definitely have to agree that it was a sloppy fight. Wow, I am messed up today. So the Hellborn team has the token. They're right back in this game. I mean, they always were, but now I don't think that there's any advantage with this token kill. Flint Beast could play a lot more casual.
Yeah, like you said, getting that token kill, it kind of allows TSoG here now to play a little bit more passive at this point, rather than still just trying to go all out and going for those pushes. Because now on a defense, they do have that Token of Life to use and a second life, of course. So we do have another vote to pause here. So it looks like Might have to restart again, perhaps. We'll wait for that to go through. But yeah, I mean, you look at going around looking at more farm actually. While we are sitting in this pause, Storm Spirit on bubbles. So again, he still has been, although he has recovered, he still is not where ideally RAK would want him to be, of course. So those lane setups from TSoG, I mean, this goes back to the laning phase. We talked about it from the very beginning, where RAK decided to keep their tri-lane despite them going up against a 2-2-1. We, for the most part, always see an adjustment from the tri-lane strategy if that is played. But RAK decided to keep the tri-lane at the bottom. They wanted to make sure Sandwraith got an all-out farm as much as possible. Voodoo Jester and Witchslayer played the babysit. They roamed occasionally, but for the most part, they stuck at that bottom lane and really prevented Pharaoh from doing anything. But it sacrificed, especially more so Bubbles' farm, and it allowed Pebbles to get a very powerful farm as well as Flint Beast to get a not as powerful because he was going up against Defather, who again was spamming that wave of death and causing a little bit of harassment himself. But yeah, so as it usually does, this game definitely goes back to the laning phase, and you have to take that in consideration. But we are where we are now as a result of that. And Sandwraith, he is at that very farm stage. I'm guessing he's going Frost of Skull. He only has 1,000 gold saved up right now, but I'm sure he has something saved up in his stash, and he has a courier over here near the secret shop. Probably going to get a glowstone right here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, so he's going to have the Frost of Skull fairly shortly, if not now. That's another powerful item. So I really think this Hellborn team, if they can get a Sandwraith ultimate off in a team fight like they had at Congo right there, then they'll be leaps better going into that team fight.
Yeah, with him picking up that item, I mean, that slows down attack speed and everything. So when he busts those illusions, I'm quite certain that it puts on him. So Flint Boost is going to be getting his attack slowed as well as Valkyrie. So an excellent item for him to pick up. A couple of points I want to point out. Pharaoh did pick up the Barbed Armor. I know he had it last fight. I don't know if you mentioned it for everybody to pay attention to. But now he's almost like a kamikaze. Like he could fly up in there, cause some chaos, cause some stuns, throw the Hellfire, and bust the Barbed Armor. So he's going to die. I mean, he knows this. But he's going to do a lot of damage with it, coming, from Defiler, from maybe not do a lot to Sandwraith, obviously. So hopefully he goes on this Defiler, and when she pops her ult, he can do a lot of damage.
Here we go. Ultimate's going off. There's a Sandwraith ultimate. Look at all that damage coming out. Valkyrie and Glacius just disappear right there. Pebbles is also going to start dropping. He chucks Sandwraith away from him. It's not going to matter, though. Those illusions on top of the main one just doing way too much damage. Pharaoh also going down right there. Papa Drake on Flint Beast, but he survives. He still has a token of life, but that's because for the most of that fight, he was frankly running. He wasn't even really fighting. As you can see, his money shot wasn't even used. 4 players live in the end, so like I was talking about, if they can get a Sandwraith ultimate off in a team fight like that, they'll be much better off. And sure enough, they were. I mean, Valkyrie and Glacius, they just melted pretty much to the illusions initially. Sandwraith is going to chase this Flint Beastwood back. He has a 6th level advantage over this Flint Beastwood alone at this point, and that's not good news. It's looking like we're very likely going to see RAK take game one here. So the team from Southeast Asia is going to pull a solid victory here in game 1 in the best out of 3 series. I guess it's not over yet, but we just after seeing what we saw right there, I just don't really see much happening for TSoG's favor, as they're going to lose both racks here as well for the most part.
And as I thought this would really not, I mean, that farm, he's sitting there pounding on wow, I just did the same thing, Bubbles. Pounding on Bubbles, they're really not even doing that much damage. I mean, he can't even touch Sandwraith. So I don't see the Hellborn team coming back from this. But like we said, it is best out of 3, and we'll see what they can do. Game 2.
Yeah. It's, again, too, as well, I mean, not to make excuses, but as we said from the very beginning, it is on a US West server because of the matchup we have. I mean, you really can't get much better. But the Southeast Asian team going up against a team from Sweden, so you only have so many choices. But that's what they have to choose. And so I don't have pings in front of me, of course, being a replay. We can't check pings, but I do feel that probably would be slightly in favor of RAK, if anything. Not to mention they're more used to playing with the US West ping. But at the same time, again, international tournaments, you expect it coming into it, so it's something you just have to deal with. And I'm sure TSoG, they've been a team to never really make excuses as a result of that. So, but ultimately, what it came down to, RAK made the decision, like I said, they made the decision in the laning phase to just say, screw it, we're just going to allow our Sandwraith to get maximum farm. We don't really care about our solos and how much Pebbles and Flint Beastwood are getting farmed up. We know that we can outcarry you in the later game. Sure enough, that's what happened. They outcarried them. Defiler, she recovered very nicely. And again, she never really was out of it, especially compared to that bubble. She did a really good job in that middle lane for 2 versus 1 for the most part against that Glacius Flint Beastwood. And she definitely deserves a lot of credit for that. And no doubt a solid reason why RAK was able to make a comeback that they did. But again, the game isn't over yet, so we'll keep following it. Sandwraith right now pushing the top lane. This is another very powerful thing about Sandwraith. He pretty much has a post haste at all times. Obviously, well, not all times, but whenever his ultimate is up, and obviously it's up now. So he's pushing the top lane while the rest of his team pushes the bottom lane. Oh, they're going to... a missed Pharaoh ultimate right there. Sandwraith expecting to possibly port in. There goes a Bubbles initiation. Here comes Sandwraith as well. And, oh, my God, the Hellborn players, their lives are just dropping way too fast to even keep up with. Flint Beastwood, he's going to resurrect, but he's probably like, I don't know why. I just want to stay dead. So GG's come out, and that is going to do it. TSoG loses to RAK here in the first game in a best-out-of-3 series. Again, very solid victory for RAK, I guess I call them Rock. Just all well-rounded play. They definitely deserved it, and it's also a solid game. Final thoughts on the game, Sooner?
No thoughts. I just want to see Game 2. It's TSoG. I know they're going to play a lot better than they did in Game 1. Not that they played bad, but I think they might have lost in the picks. Purely because the Sandwraith is so crazy. They just let them get too farmed. I mean, they ganked him. Okay, I guess I'm going to do my final thoughts. They did a great job ganking Sandwraith, but they needed to end the game mid-game, and it just didn't happen. So Game 2, we'll see if TSoG can step this up. Or if not, to the viewers, they're going to be eliminated from this GosuGamers event.
Yep, as you said, this is a double eliminations tournament, but we're in the loser's bracket now. So you lose here, you go home. And you go home with, I believe it's right now you're guaranteed at least 300. So, but trying to stay alive to get more and more of that prize pool. $40,000 prize pool in total. So obviously there's plenty of money to go around. More and more money as you get in the round. So both teams, of course, playing their all out here. And a very good Game 1. So with that said, like you said, Game 2 coming up. Stay tuned for that as far as Game 1 here. Thanks for tuning in. I was Breaky CPK. Joining me was Sooner, the Honcast staff. And as always, stay tuned to Honcast.com for much, much more coverage. We'll be right back with Game 2. Stay tuned.